I have zero respect for somebody that calls man blitz on an every down basis. So I made this video's mission to show you guys exactly how to destroy people that are consistently calling man defense. And the Arizona Cardinals have the best gun ace formation in all of Madden 26 that is going to allow us to easily beat man defense on a consistent basis. But not only beat man defense, but also run the ball on an effective manner with QB designed runs, running back traps, and some RPO action to put the ball in the end zone. It doesn't matter if your opponent is in cover 1 man, cover 2 press, or a cover 0 blitz style defense. We know in Gun Ace, we're going to be able to effectively move the ball down the field for an easy score. And not only can we efficiently move the ball down the field, but we have some of the best run plays in Madden 26. We have an 0-1 trap, inside zone, a quick base, and even a read option. We're also going to be spending a lot of time in the red zone as well because we have a couple of RPO actions as well, even a pass play behind it to really confuse the opponent. We're also going to be talking about goal to go scenarios because the QB blast is one of the most guaranteed touchdowns when you're on the 2-yard line, and even a QB zone if you want to take it off the edge for some nice chunk gains. So we're going to kick off the video majority in man defense and the different plays and setups that we're going to be utilizing. After we talk about man defense, then we'll pivot to zone. That way we could wrap up this scheme with a nice tightly present, and then we'll have an unstoppable scheme that we could utilize to not only run the ball, milk the clock, minimize our opponent's possessions, and walk away with a quick, easy dub. So first of all, we're going to kick it off in inside cross. What we're also going to do is go into our coaching adjustments. So what you're going to do in the coaching adjustments is set your pass protection to empty. And a simplified version is that if you are sending the running back on a route, empty provides the best O-line protection against stunts and traditional pass rushers. Now, if you're blocking the running back, base is going to be the best pass protection, but luckily for us in Madden, if you are an empty and you block the running back, it'll automatically put you into base. So there's technically no reason to not be on empty because either you don't block the running back and you're on empty, the proper pass protection, or you block the running back as a hot route and it automatically puts you into base. So at that point, just put it on empty, and if you need to be in base, the game will put you on base. So we're going to leave it on empty. So we're going to kick it off with our opponent in cover 2 man. And for some reason, I started to see this a lot in my online games. And sometimes people just don't have the proper answers to it, which is why people stay in cover 2 man. But right now in inside cross, we know we have 4 man beating routes by default on this play, with the post on square, the delayed in on circle, and then 2 drag routes with the tight ends. And because the tight ends do not get pressed on the line of scrimmage by default, we know they're going to get free releases and then run away from the defenders going across the sideline. So the adjustment on this play is to do whatever you want with the running back. But what we're also going to do on this play is we're going to stem the square post route all the way down. As far down as you could stem him, do it, which is only going to be like about 7 yards down the field. And then what you're going to notice, he's going to be read number 1 on this play. So we're going to look at him real fast, and we're going to notice that he just runs right through the guy, and then you give him a nice pass lead to the inside, and then take it in for the quickest, easy score you'll ever get. It's great against man press type defenses. When our opponent presses on the defensive side, then you know you're going to go straight into this, stem him all the way down, and then just call hike, and then of course throw a nice inside pass lead, and then take it all the way again, just like that. And of course, if you got a speedy receiver, that is a 1-play touchdown. You could actually also do it on the opposite side with the delayed in. If you technically, if you stem him down, then he'll also get a free release. But I mean, of course, if you're going to do that, you might as well do it with the guy that's going to get the 1-play touchdown, not necessarily the in. So we like to keep him on his little delayed in route. That way we have a backside read on the play, and he's always going to get inside positioning as well. If I just call hike and then just kind of wait on it, he's going to get inside positioning. So of course a down and in pass lead is going to give you the quick 10-15 yards. And of course, like I said, you can do whatever you want with the running back. You can put him on an angle route, you can block him if you really want, you can put him on a flat just to get him out of the way. You can do whatever you want with the running back. I'll just leave him on here just for the sake of leaving him. It doesn't really matter. And then of course we could look at either tight end on the play. Now both the tight ends are going to get open across the sideline, and the best part about this is a majority of the time the defenders, they're going to run into each other, allowing you to get a lot of separation. Just in these examples, we saw the defenders bump into each other, and then that created a lot of separation for both tight ends. And even if they don't get bumped across the field, you're still going to get a lot of separation. This one, we also got it right there, and then we noticed we're just going to be able to turn upfield, up the sideline for as much yards as we could possibly carry. So of course, that is going to be inside cross when you're seeing man defense. We're going to revisit this play multiple times throughout this video, whether it's different sorts of man defense or even some zone defense as well, because this one has a lot of potential special to it just because of the crossing route or the post route on the play. We're still going to be in the play inside cross, but this time we're going to go into cover 1 style defense. Now it could potentially be a cover 3 zone style defense, so we have to account for both. Now what I'm going to do real fast is stem down the post route like we did in cover 2 press, and you're going to notice that it doesn't quite get the same amount of separation as it did. Now typically the best case scenario is an inside pass lead and you pick up 15 yards on a possession catch, but typically what's going to happen is even if you do catch it, it's going to get knocked out from a tackle from behind, or it's going to become an intercepted pass. Don't recommend doing that in cover 1 or cover 3 zone style defenses. So what we're going to do is kind of switch up the play a decent amount. We're going to wheel the running back, and then we're going to streak the in or circle side receiver just like that, and we create a flood concept on the right side of the field. We have a streak to push out the deep zone, we got a drag to pull the curl flat defender down, and then we got a wheel route to hit the intermediate part of the defense. And of course, if he shades his coverage over the top, then we're just going to hit the drag route from the triangle receiver going to the right side of the field. What we're also going to do is in route the square receiver, and then we're going to stem him about 10 to 15 yards. That was a little too high, about, just like that. So he goes as an intermediate option in case the opponent shades his coverage underneath in order to stop the drag routes. So we have 3 man beating plays on this route. We have both drags that we saw previous example do a great job against man defense, and now we gave ourselves a backside in from the square receiver that is also going to do a good job beating man defense. So real fast in cover 1, you're going to notice that the drag routes just do phenomenal across the field. You allow them to run away, and it doesn't matter what coverage the opponent is in, they are going to be their defender across the field. So we'll do the setup one more time, and then we'll showcase one of the drag routes one more time, just so you guys could see that it is going to be a great way to beat man defense. And a lot of the times you're going to be able to break that first tackle, and then of course after that turn up field. Worst case scenario, you get tackled for a 3-yard gain. Best case scenario, you're running to the house. And then of course, and now we're going to go into the square route real fast. And of course, once he cuts in, you could throw it to him, or you could wait for him to cross the hook curl defender, and then of course give him a down and in pass lead as well, and then turn upfield if you're able to. So real fast, I audible to a cover 3 style defense. We're going to talk a lot about zone defense later on in the video, but I do want to showcase that this does great against cover 3 style defenses as well. Real fast, you're going to notice both drag routes are open, and then of course the in route gets open across the middle of the field in between the zone. And of course, if our opponent shades his coverage underneath, then the wheel route is going to be a huge chunk gain opportunity. All right, but let's keep it moving. Still an inside cross. Now we're going to shift into a cover 0 man blitz. And now we're in double A gap, considering it's probably the most popular man blitz style defense, especially when the user hugs over the A gap. So what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about blocking the blitz. And of course, we're going to block the running back to give ourselves a 6 blocker against the 6 people that are rushing. But we're also going to pull up the pass protection, hit the untarget the defender feature, which is triangle or Y, and then we're going to go over the user. Just like that, the offensive line now isn't going to look at the user, and of course the free rusher is going to get picked up by the running back now. So now that we got the blitz block, we can set up our route combinations properly down the field. But realistically, in inside cross, again, we don't really have to make any adjustments because these routes are going to be man defense. But if the opponent doesn't press his coverage, then of course the post route isn't going to get open. So you have the opportunity to put whatever you want on the outside square receiver. If you want to put him on a slant, you can. If you want to put him on a post, you can. That one that isn't just like that, or you can put him on an in route just like that. And then you can basically have a symmetrical formation on the route combination side. That part you could do whatever you want, specifically if the opponent isn't pressing his defense. If he is pressing, then of course you are going to go to that post route, stem it down, and attack the coverage. I'll show an example in a moment. Of course, the reads on this play are going to be the drag routes on the field. So we got the blitz covered, and then after that, you're just going to read whichever drag route the user doesn't take, and then of course, take the ball upfield for a quick chunk gain. We'll go to the opposite drag route this time. We'll block the blitz just like that, and of course, the opposite drag route now is going to be huge down the sideline. And the last read on this play is going to be the circle receiver on the in route. A down and in pass lead is going to give you the opportunity, of course, to get either the possession catch or move the ball up the field again. Just to show a quick example of the other square receiver on an in route, we'll just put him on one real fast. And then of course, and again, a down and in pass lead will give you that opportunity. So now let's actually press our defense, so you could see what it looks like cover 0 blitz with a press, and we blocked the running back, got him singled out, and then we're going to notice that just like that, it's going to be a 1-play touchdown. So if we see the opponent press, this is immediately where we're going to be going to. Now I do want to warn you, if the opponent presses and shades his coverage over the top, then it isn't going to be open like how we thought. We'll actually stem it down just like that. we'll block the running back, and then we'll call hike. Just you could see real fast, he doesn't get that type of separation. It kind of has some, but if you throw it, it's probably going to be intercepted. So that's going to be inside cross in man style defenses, whether it's cover 1, cover 2, or of course man blitz. So let's hop into the next ones. The next play we're going to be talking about is the play flood post. And it doesn't matter if the opponent is in cover 1, cover 2 press, or cover 0 style blitz. The setup, we have 2 of them, are going to be pretty similar. We'll talk about them. So right now we are in cover 1 man, just because I feel like it is also a very good defense that I see a lot in my games. But the setup is super simple. All we're going to do is take the triangle tight end and we're going to put him on a deep cross. We're also going to take the X triangle and we're going to put him on a drag, just like that. And basically we created a dagger concept on the field. We got a tight end on a crosser, we got a backside in, and we even gave ourselves the underneath option with the drag, just like this. We want to keep the running back on a flat just in case it ends up becoming zone defense. And we have now a flood concept on the right side of the field with the post route pushing out the deep zone. We got the intermediate on the cross, and of course the running back on a flat. And of course on the opposite side of the field, we have the drag to pull down the defenders to be able to hit the backside in. A nice dagger concept, makeshift, that works really well. But in man defense, of course, read number 1 is going to be the drag route, and of course a lot of bumping and colliding is going to go on, and of course a pass lead to the outside is going to work wonders. Read number 2 on this play is going to be the crossing route ran by the tight end, and you're going to notice a lot of separation there, and a pass lead down and out is also going to give yourself the possibility to possession catch it to not get a knockout animation. And then last but not least, read number 3 in man defense is going to be the backside in, and an off coverage man, it does wonders as well. We'll talk about zone defense later on, but the route combination will work just as well. Let's go over the second setup in case you want to block your running back for man blitz, or if you want more time in the pocket. So what you're going to do, as we default the play back to reset, we're going to block the running back, and then we're going to put the triangle tight end on a drag. We're going to put the X tight end on a corner route, just like this. So now we created another variation of a flood going to the right side of the field, but we also still have 2 man beating routes as well, with the drag and of course the corner route, while still keeping the backside wide receiver on the deep end. So of course in man defense, we're going to be looking at the drag route, and with some bumping and colliding going on, still an outside pass lead will give ourselves at minimum a 4-yard gain. Next, we're going to look at the tight end X on the corner route, and Trey McBride will do a great job at torching man defense. And of course, after that, just run it up the sideline. And of course, last but not least is going to be the delayed in. And of course, just like that, an inside pass lead is going to do great. So those are going to be the 2 setups that I utilize most when running flood post. Whether you want to block the running back or not, you have multiple different opportunities to be able to attack the field at different levels. So let's move on. If you're like me and lazy and you don't want to do that many hot routes, hitch corners is going to be your go-to play if your opponent is in a double, a gap, or a man blitz style defense. You're just going to block your running back, untarget the defender just like that, and then of course you have 2 corner routes going on opposite sides of the field that you could throw to, just like this one. That one, now he aggressively torches man. You're not going to get that much of a torch unless you have an elite tight end going right there, but you're going to be able to just block your running back, go to this, and then of course pick whichever corner out you're going to want to throw to. And it doesn't matter which side your opponent use your guards, because you're going to be able to go to the opposite side as well. And then of course making it they go to the opposite sides of the field, your opponent can't bait you because he has to commit to one in order to stop it. So just like that, we'll do it one more time, and then you're going to notice, of course, that this corner out does great, Trey McBride, in order for a 1-play touchdown. Now, what's really great about this play is the outside wide receivers, they're on hitches, and they just get out of your way. So you know you're hitting the corner routes on this play. It is a 2-read play, but I mean, it is a really good 2-read play, so you don't mind that at all. So sometimes your opponent, he's going to get slick, and he's going to move the defenders to the outside, just help with the corner out, and then he's even going to shade outside to really stop you from being able to attack the corner routes. And this is great for you on your end, because what you're going to do is put the tight ends now on crossing routes, just like that. And they still go to the outside corner route, because now your opponent still can't bait you in a way. He still has to commit to one route or the other, but now they're going to get inside positioning. And of course, if they don't collide into each other just like that, they're still going to get open across the field. And by doing this, now your opponent, he can't shade inside, he can't shade outside, he can't route commit one way or the other, and he can't specifically user both sides. He has has to pick one or the other, and then from there you can just throw it to the opposite side, which makes this play really great. And if your opponent, he does try to, for example, if your opponent, as I take the second controller, if he tries to manually bump one side or the other to try to take it away and try to press him, what you can do in this play, if you really want to add some flexibility, some style points, is you could just block the running back or block with a tight, here, you know what we're going to do is we're going to block the X receiver, and then we're going to put the running back on an angle route, and then we'll put him on a crossing, just like that. We'll do that. We basically have two crossing routes still, but now we block the tight end, and we block the blitz in a different fashion, just like that. So you can kind of really outsmart the opponent in different ways. What you could also do is a crossing route and a drag. You don't need two crossing routes. You could put one over the top, one underneath, just like that, and give yourself the quick option, and then an over the top option. You could put both of them on drags if you really want to, but at that point you might as well just call it inside cross. That way you can kind of save yourself the hot routes. The point of this is to be as lazy as possible, and of course it's just blocking the running back, targeting the man, and then of course just throwing it to a corner route that gets open across the field. So I mean, that's kind of the point of hitch crosses, is just to be lazy. You know your opponent, he's in man blitz style defense, and you just want to be able to get the quick read where you could of course attack the opponent. So that's going to be hitch crosses. The next play we're going to be talking about is tight end attack, and really going to be focusing in on the tight end that's on a stutter post type of route. So what we're going to do on the play is to block the running back, or you could put him on any route you would like. And what we're also going to do is drag the X tight end. And essentially we kind of just want to clear that area out for that tight end. We can also do whatever we want with the outside wide receivers. I do like him on comebacks to give ourselves another man beating option across the sideline, but essentially we're going to be focusing on him as he stutters, goes across the field, and the only thing I could say is there is a lot of separation. And essentially we want to make sure the user doesn't have any reason or opportunity to manually guard it, which is why we like the other tight end on a drag. You could also put him on a corner route, anything you'd want. You just don't want him in the way of that stutter go, because as soon as he cuts diagonally across the field, a nice up and out pass lead is going to give you a lot of rat catch opportunity. I threw that a little early out there, but let's kind of give it one more rep where I kind of wait a little bit across the sideline, and then you can see how much separation you have to really throw this pass. And of course with comebacks on the outside, then you're going to have nobody in front of you for the one play touchdown. And I talked about drag routes way too many times in this video being main defense. I'm not going to talk about that, but now we also have another comeback route that you could throw on the outside to also beat man defense. So if the user wants to take that stutter post away, then you still have the opposite side players you could hit on their comeback routes to beat man defense as well. So this is a simple play that you could really utilize if you want to attack the tight end in a quick situation where you need yards fast. And this is going to be one of the best ways to do so, because I can't tell you how many 1 minute drills or such where I need yards. I'll put this in my back pocket and then I'll pull it out, and then of course I get my quick chunk gain. So that's going to be tight end attack. Let's keep it moving. Now that we've went over some passing plays and passing setups to get ourselves into the red zone, let's actually talk about some red zone plays to either get ourselves in the end zone or goal to go scenario. And what I like to do with these 3 motioned RPOs is actually section them out for what I'm specifically trying to do. In man defense, motion RPO read slide is actually really good, where typically in RPOs man defense stops it. This one man defense excels in it. Now we have motion PA slide, and after you do RPO motions a couple times, the user on the opponent side of the field, he's going to try to jump that RPO, and of course passing it over the top is going to work wonders for it. We'll go over the setup for that as well. Motion RPO alert Y flat is the zone defense RPO, and we're going to go over the scenarios for that as well. But first, let's start it off with man defense motion RPO read slide. So on this RPO, you're going to notice that the wide receiver motions all the way across the field. And an easy tell if it's man defense is if you notice that the defensive back follows him all the way across the formation. But the issue with this is defensive back kind of slows down or gets caught in traffic of the other defenders, making it so it is an easy one play touchdown when you're in the red zone. One more time, you're going to notice the defender kind of slow down a little bit. He also gets caught in traffic, and then boom, just like that, you're going to have an easy route to the end zone. In man defense, this play excels. In zone defense, it doesn't do that great, especially if the opponent shades his coverage underneath. But not only that, you could still hand it off to the running back, and at that point, you don't really have a defender stopping you on the outside. So of course you're just going to take it and race it to the pylon, just like that. But of course, essentially on this play, you're definitely aiming to hit the square receiver on the flat, and of course at that point you're just going to start taking it in the end zone. For the last rep, I'm actually going to switch it to cover 3 sky, and then I'll shade my coverage underneath, and you're going to notice it'll do a great job, because initially that defender stops, and then just like that, I don't know if I shaded underneath or over the top, but you're going to notice right there, if he does shade his coverage underneath, that's either going to be a tackle for a loss, an interception, or a knockout opportunity. So this is the play you're going to be running if you notice the opponent is in man defense and you're in the red zone, just because you have so much opportunity for a quick, easy score. In motion PA slide, you're going to utilize this when the opponent gets slick and tries to jump that RPO action. What we're going to do is drag the X tight end, and we're actually just going to reblock the running back. Because, for example, if you don't reblock the running back, I'll just run it default. It does become a odd rollout animation. You can't cancel this. So while you do, if you do have a speedy quarterback, then it does work out just like this. But of course, if you have some fast defenders, you're going to get tackled behind the line. So you have to block the running back or put him on a route in order to cancel that animation. You can't manually do it by holding the right thumbstick. So what you're also going to do is take the X tight end and you're going to put him on a drag just like this. So basically you have a over under crossing drag route just like that. And you're going to have the ability to attack whichever one you want across the field. A lot of the times the crossing route will get a free release, so you're able to attack him across the sideline. And of course, you're going to be utilizing this when your opponent, of course, dips down and tries to jump that RPO action. Of course, you're not going to typically utilize this if you don't know what your opponent is going to do, or if you don't think your opponent is going to jump it. But in case he does get bright ideas, in case he starts getting ahead of himself, this is the play you're going to be running in order to make him pay for it. And a lot of the times in game-winning situations, they're going to be a little antsy. They're going to start trying to jump it, and then of course you're going to be able to attack over the top. Now, of course, that being said, you could still attack the motion from the square receiver, because he's still I forgot to cancel the animation. See, you really can't cancel it just like that. So you're always going to want to make sure to block the running back. You just saw exactly why just there. But back to what I said, you can still throw it to the motion square receiver, because he still does get pressed and bumped a lot just like that. But a lot of the times I've noticed in passing plays just like this one, he doesn't necessarily get bumped as much. So while it does happen, you're not going to count on it specifically. But this is going to be the play you're going to want to run when, of course, like I said, your opponent, he's getting a little proactive across the field. So now we're at the goal to go situation, and we're going to call the play QB blast. And basically, if you're at the 1, 2, 3 yard line and you call this, it's basically a guaranteed touchdown. You just call hike and run up the middle. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything fancy. But if you're further down the field, then of course you're going to want to find the proper running lane. But when you're this close to the end zone, basically just run up the field. Follow your running back, run up the field, and then of course just get into the end zone just like that. You're going to notice every single rep I have, I'm going to be able to find the end zone without even finding the proper running lane just like that. I'm not even going to be looking for the B gap, the C gap. I'm just going up the middle, no problem, up the middle. That one I found the semi-proper running lane, but even then, just run up the middle. That's all you need to do. It's really not that hard, not that serious. I actually completely whiffed on that one, but that's going to be one bad rep out of 15 so far, and this is a quick, easy touchdown. Even that one was a little bit difficult, but I still found a way in, just like that. Followed my block in. It's a very simple process. QB blast on the goal line, touchdown. It's very simple, very straightforward play. I don't need to show you too many options, but here's the last one. If you have a speedster quarterback like I do, you can call the play QB zone. And this one, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the goal line. You can do this at any part of the field. But right now, since we're on the goal line, we're going to utilize that. And this one, you're just going to follow your blocks to the sideline and, of course, take it upfield and race to the pylon. But, of course, in a non-goal to go scenario, this one is a turn upfield just like that and then find the green grass ahead of you. Especially if you have a speedster as quarterback. I'm not sure why, but the defense doesn't do the best job defending it, specifically on the perimeters, making it so they lose contain a lot. And then, of course, you have your opportunity for chunk yards. Just like that, go up the sideline, and then find the end zone. So now we're back in the play inside cross. And now let's talk about some zone beating opportunities and route combinations. So we're in cover 3 just like this. And let's talk about a couple quick setups. So what you can do is still utilize the stem down post route to stop the drag routes. So if you want, you know what, we'll block the running back just for this example. And you're going to notice when he cuts up the middle of the field that there is a nice hole in the zone for you to do a quick possession catch for a 20-yard gain. Now, even if he doesn't shade his coverage underneath, you could typically still throw this, but it is definitely a lot tighter of a window. So just like that, you might have to wait a half second longer, but the opportunity is still going to be there. So what you can do is stem his route or stem the post underneath, and then you could put the triangle tight end on any route you would want in case you want to throw some variety and you don't want to run 2 drag routes on the field. So what I'll actually tell you to do is run a return route, and then on the X tight end, run a corner, and then from there, just run a streak flat flood concept on the right side of the field. So just like this. So now you could read the running back and the corner route tight end first and second. And then if those aren't open, the user takes it away. Then you can go back to the opposite side of the field on the return and the stem down post route. So real fast, we'll look, okay, we'll hit the running back quick to the flat. He's read number 1. And now we'll look at the corner route read number 2. Just like that. And then read number 3, we'll look at the return route. We notice a lot there because we actually noticed that middle linebacker, he flew straight and only looked at that post route, which happens normally, but that's why we have the underneath option. Now, the only issue with this play is that you are doing a lot of hot routes. The only non-hot route you're doing is stemming the post route down. So typically the opponent, he's going to have to shade his coverage underneath. Let's do that right now, just like that, in order to hit that post route. So just like that, he takes away the underneath return, but we're able to hit that over the top. So we have answers for everything. If the opponent wants to use the return or the post, we can go to the flood concept with the corner route flat, or if the opponent goes to the corner route, then we have the ability to go to the return. And then we, of course, if he shades his coverage underneath, we have the opportunity to hit the post. You have a lot of different answers for the different type of shading or the zone coverages that the opponent throws at you, just like this. The only thing is you are doing a lot of hot routes on this play specifically because we do have a phenomenal post route. We want to utilize that as much as possible by surrounding it with routes that also either complement it or also get open in case we aren't able to hit it as well. So this is the second variation in inside cross. You could also utilize that, but of course one of my favorite ones is still going to be the traditional mesh with the wheel route, just like this. But let's stem the in route just a little bit more, just like that. That is still going to be the traditional zone beating play that I really love running, and I'll run it all the time. But of course it is hard to pass the ball so much in zone defense, man defense, when of course you are still running the ball effectively and efficiently, just like this. That was a bad example, even though we're still trucking down the field just like that. So that is going to be gun ace. Now, of course, if you enjoyed this scheme, please guys, like, comment, and subscribe. A lot of effort and labbing went into this one, but I really enjoy utilizing this play this formation in my online games, the MUT, ranked, head-to-head, all that good stuff. It has been nothing but dominant, especially because I'm able to really milk the clock in a way that I've never really been able to do so before, really taking out majority of halves if I really wanted to by running this formation. So this one not only is intensively annoying to go against because you're able to go vertically, horizontally, underneath, over the top, but you're able to milk the clock, beating the meta style defenses that the opponent is currently throwing at you. So of course, if you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, hey, good luck everybody.